Hello, everyone. My name is Christine Taylor, and I'm a graduate student in the Master of Arts Interdisciplinary Studies program in the Department of Organization, Workforce, and Leadership Studies. I would like to welcome you to the online graduate practicum forum for spring 2021. The title of my practicum is Starting and Managing a Nonprofit Organization. The purpose of my practicum was to gain experience in leadership role within a nonprofit organization that provides food, clothing, shelter, substance abuse counseling, and other resources to vulnerable individuals and families. Based on this, I completed my practicum at the Good Shepherd Mission located at 1005 Martin Luther King, Huntsville, Texas. During my practicum, I had three objectives. My first objective was to expand my cross cultural global awareness by comparing nonprofits globally, identifying ways that charity may hurt the community, learning to partnership and collaborate with other entities, identifying and understanding the policies and procedures of nonprofit organizations, and researching cultural diversity and awareness. My second objective was intellectual development. Here, my activities included identifying eligibility criteria, intake procedures, services, and resources, effectively utilizing current organizational software, comparing LCDC certification and MSW degree requirements, identifying the processes and procedures to acquire a licensed chemical dependency certification, attending a meeting with America's Small Business Development Center, and finally, creating an organizational document that aids the agency's efficiency and operations. I was able to create several multifunctional food inventory documents that are now in use by the organization. In my third objective, career exploration, the goal was to learn how to manage and supervise a nonprofit organization. My activities included observing two collaboration meetings, researching nonprofit fundraising, participating in a food distribution event, learning networking strategies, and learning what documentation are needed to manage and operate a nonprofit organization. Over the course of this practicum, I shadowed the food coordinator, the office manager, the case manager, and the executive director of the Good Shepherd Mission. This provided me the opportunity to meet face to face with individuals needing and receiving services through the Good Shepherd Mission. These objectives contributed to my career goals by allowing me behind the scenes access to see how a nonprofit determines eligibility for services, assesses clients for lodging, observe partner and collaboration meetings within the organization, and witness active leadership as well as conflict management strategies. During this practicum, I experienced many highlights. I have selected three to share with you. My first experience I call Put to the Test. Here I was tasked with running the front office with little or no training. I was even refused a password to log into the computer to check in clients. I was able to rise to the challenge and complete all tasks required. This experience highlighted some skills that I was not aware that I had. For example, determination, flexibility, perseverance, multitasking, and definitely patience. Through this experience, I can communicate better and work with difficult people. This experience also showed the staff at this nonprofit that I was a valuable worker. The next experience I call priceless experiences. While I was observing a meeting between the director and a donor, I learned funds that were provided to the organization had been misused. I was able to see firsthand how not honoring your commitments could cause loss of partnerships, the inability to secure funding, and create a bad reputation for the organization. This experience was priceless for me because I saw the importance of keeping good records and honoring my word when applying, asking for, receiving, or utilizing funds intended to help the community. My final experience I call humble and diligent. When serving the public, vulnerable populations, it is easy to become overwhelmed, complacent, judgmental, and even biased. We must remember to remain humble and diligent. In my practicum, I observed a culture of superiority, a common stereotypical attitudes and beliefs about minorities and the homeless population. It is these behaviors and attitudes that contribute to high turnover rates within an organization. An organization cannot run by itself. And as the organization grows, it is vital to adjust with it and the needs of the community in which it serves. Serving the public and vulnerable populations, especially in COVID times, call for special, humane, compassionate, and understanding people. Yet, we often find that the persons in this industry have lost their passion and their heart for the job. Here are several takeaways from my practicum research. First, cultural awareness and diversity are essential. During my practicum, I read a book called Rapid Skill Builder Cultural Diversity and Awareness by Team Publications. Learning about cultural awareness is essential to nonprofit organizations because it creates an awareness of the hidden differences in values, attitudes, and beliefs that so greatly affect communication. It is easy to unintentionally offend people if you are not culturally aware. For example, in some cultures, it is offensive to receive help from others out of sympathy. Another hard reality is that some people are in a situation simply because they want to be. Being culturally aware will help reduce cross-cultural conflict. It helps people learn how to behave appropriately across diverse cultures and provides insight into the who, what, and why of various cultures. The primary purpose of most nonprofit organizations is to help people, not hurt them. I read a book called Toxic Charity by Robert Lupton. After reading this book, I understood that charity has been utilized to make us feel better about ourselves and often creates a culture of laziness and dependency if not properly organized. Charity can create dependency when an organization does not empower or teach its people. I now understand that for a mission trip or a charity to be considered adequate, we must train and teach others how to maintain the improvement. Lastly, here are 5 things you must do when starting a nonprofit organization. During my practicum, I read the book titled Starting and Managing a Nonprofit Organization, a Legal Guide by Bruce Hopkins. Hopkins lists 5 things that people must do to start a nonprofit organization. First is to choose the organization's name. The name must be memorable or inspirable. Second, identify the problem and need and offer solutions to the problem, which will help you acquire funding needed to start and support your nonprofit organization. Number 3, provide a clearly defined description of the targeted population. Like, are you serving males or females? Are they young or old? Is there a specific age group? Are you serving individuals or families? Number 4, clearly express your vision and values for the project using descriptive words to describe who you are. Are you respectful? Do you hail ethics? Number 5, study the landscape of other organizations in the area and focus on addressing needs that are not already being addressed. All of the above listed items are necessary to acquire funding, demonstrate the need for your services, and tell your stakeholders, partners, collaborators that your organization can address the need. During my practicum, I realized that one of my strengths is taking initiative and being proactive. At the start of my practicum, there was a lot of waiting and downtime. I utilized this time to introduce myself and speak to volunteers and staff. I helped and asked questions. I also showed an interest, which helped to build rapport and allowed many the freedom to teach me how to operate various departments in the organization. Here I utilized many previously learned skills which were relevant in the effective operation of a nonprofit organization. A weakness for me was thinking that people want to offer information, tips, or see you be successful. I learned that everyone will not be happy to see you despite your good intentions. I also realized that I was naive in thinking that everyone who serves the community truly care about the community they serve. The main opportunities I experienced was the ability to network and develop my intellectual skills through research. I have met other professionals and maintained communication with them, with the hopes of developing a working relationship. After being faced with some resistance from leadership, I met founders of a nonprofit organization called Community Peace Coalition. I spoke in depth with the founder of this organization, and by the end of our conversation, I was asked to come aboard, listen, participate, and assist with organizing a local nonprofit that accomplishes both CPC's goals and the goals that I have created for my own nonprofit organization. At the start of my practicum, a threat for me was the lack of significant leadership experience. I understand that no leader is perfect. However, leaders of organizations should be knowledgeable about effective communication, honesty, and integrity. Our values hold, permeate, bring certainty in uncertain times, and as leaders, we are the embodiment of the mission, values, beliefs, and principles that are the soul of the organization. Overall, I learned to have confidence in myself and my abilities, ask questions when in doubt, and that serving the public is a calling for a special people. It is vital to have heart, be compassionate and diligent to the cause. People's lives depend on it. After this practicum experience, I am very optimistic about my future career plans. My immediate career plan is to continue to volunteer at local nonprofit organizations that serve vulnerable populations. I also plan to work with the Community Peace Coalition in a leadership role. I feel that this will help develop my leadership skills and allow me the opportunity to put theory to practice. Lastly, my future career plans include starting my own nonprofit organization serving young adult teen parents between the ages of 12 and 25. The need in the United States is growing exponentially. The Texas prisons are being overrun and filled with young adults who were raised in poverty and faced many barriers and inequities throughout their lives. It is our jobs as humans, taxpayers, and parents to do all we can to offer our children positive options for success, love, and support. The old cliche states that our children are our future. My question is, are we truly doing all we can to help, love, encourage, and teach them? Are we showing them that they are valued and worth the effort? I want to offer an option other than crime, drugs, or the streets. Thank you for viewing my practicum presentation. On the YouTube page below, please indicate your anonymous preference for this practicum by clicking on one of these two icons. Also, please post your comments or questions in the YouTube comment section below. I will respond to your inquiries posted between April 6th and April 17th through this webpage.